Okay, so what Tara is talking about is a bunch of emotional reactions. So she was talking about shame, talking about pride. Then we also talked about anger, hostility.
Also attraction.
Attraction, yeah, emotional attraction. And so on, such that you identify yourself with the other members of the group or the whole group.
Yeah.
And what happens to some other member or the whole group as a whole is almost taken to be what is happening to you.
Yeah.
That is what happens in the case of identity.
Yeah.
And these are the kinds of things which in principle, especially the destructive emotions, pride seems to be okay if you feel proud that a member of your community has won something, that's okay. But when it leads to
hostility,
anger and hostility, negative, destructive emotions, that is at the root of a great deal of human suffering, all the religious violence, wars.
But in fact, many times shame and pride can also lead to that, right?
Can lead to, destructive
behavior.
That is true.
Without necessarily starting with anger and hostility.
Can pride result in negative?
So, Nazi Germany potentially is an example of pride resulting in...
Oh, pride meaning sense of superiority.
That's what I meant.
That's slightly different from pride.
Okay,
Yeah, sense of superiority. That's
would be another.
So we should include that one as a negative. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those things.
Yeah.
Shame, for example, can result in physical violence towards others.
Interesting. So it looks like we began with the question, what is identity? And we are beginning to understand the reasons for societal violence of a certain group violence of certain kinds, especially the kinds of things that people talk about as violent extremism could in fact come from here, and various other, this could be one of the sources.
Yeah. But notice that can, in terms of personal violence, that can stem from here, all from there. But even from here, so you can have someone says you're stupid, and some people get.
That is true. Yeah. If emotions are attached to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people get whatever these emotions are attached
right.
to. They would be weird if someone said you are unethical, and then you punch them, but I don't think that works. But
if somebody says, you are not a peace-loving person, you are a violent person, you get angry, you shoot me.
Yeah, that would be problematic, but
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, that seems to be a reasonably good coverage of the question, who are you? Or who am I?
At least actually a start, I would say.
Yeah.
There's a lot more work that needs to be done.
But I think people will get a sense of what it means to say conceptual inquiry into this question.
I think one of the things that we do need to, that did come out, is not just the individual traits that form part of identity, but the collections of traits. So the collections where it's very, very individual, internal, personal. And then there are traits of things like age and gender and language and so on, which are not, well, let's call it individual identity. And then there is the group identity where you identify yourself with a group.
Yeah.
And then there is the group identity where the group identifies you as part of the group, but you don't belong
or other people identify you as part of that group.
So I think we need, when identity, are we leaving out any of these, or are we only asking the question, who am I, to myself? I'm not worrying about what others.
So we need three types of identity.
Right.
Whether we call the other two identity is where we can decide that's not where that crucial, but where there's just what I consider myself to be. In that case, these are not part of my identity.
Right.
But if what do others consider me to be, all of these are probably part of my identity. So so it's important to keep that.